Hello everyone and welcome to Intro to Adobe Premiere Pro. In this video we're going to learn how to get started with Adobe Premiere, how to import files and create a sequence, the 3 most commonly used tools in Adobe Premiere, and how to export your file. So let's get started. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open your program. Once the software is loaded, you can go over to the left-hand side of your screen and click on New Project. This will bring up a dialog window where you can give your project a name, and then you can browse to see where you want to save your file to. So I've already created a folder for this on my desktop, so I'm going to open the project folder, and I'm going to choose where I want that to be saved. So I'm going to save it under Project Files, and click Choose, and then just click OK. The next thing to know is how to import files into Adobe Premiere. So there are 2 main methods that I use. The first is just go up to File, Import. Now I can choose which files I want. I'm just going to select all of those and then click Import. And you'll see that those files have now appeared in my media library. The second method I like to use is the classic drag and drop method. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to find my file that I want. I'm going to select it. And I click and drag and then drop it into my media library. And there it is. From here, we can create a sequence. So I'm just going to select the clip that I want to use. I'm just going to drag it over into my timeline and drop it. This is the easiest way that I found to create a sequence. It matches all of your settings automatically to the video source, and you can just get started right from there. The next thing that we're going to learn is 3 commonly used tools in Adobe Premiere. So that's going to be your selection tool right here at the top of your toolbar. It's going to be your razor tool, which is in the middle, and then the text tool right down here at the bottom. So these tools all have corresponding hotkeys. So this is a key on your keyboard that you can press it, and it'll bring up automatically that tool. So for the razor tool, that'll be C. It's easy to remember, C for cut. You're going to be cutting your video with this tool. For the text tool, it's just a simple T, T for text. For the selection tool, it's a little bit odd. It's V. I don't know the reasoning behind this. There's not really a clever way to remember it. So just remember V for selection. Kind of looks like an arrow, so you could probably remember it that way. So your selection tool just lets you move things around within your timeline. So here I can move my video further down my timeline. If I want to import another video, just going to drag and drop. And now I can reorder. So say I want my tulips to come after my sunflowers here. I'm going to click and drag and place my tulips down here. I'm going to drag my sunflowers back to the beginning. And then my tulips are going to match up with them at the end. So now we have them ordered in the correct way that I want them to go in. So now we can move to the razor tool. So this lets me cut my video. So if you just hover over your video and click, you'll see that I'm making all these different little cuts. I'm going to get rid of those. And so let's say that I want my video to start right here. I'm going to make a cut, and then I want it to end right about there. So I'm going to make another cut. Now I'm going to go back to my selection tool. I'm going to select the first part of the video that I want to get rid of. I'm going to press backspace to delete it. I'm going to go to the second segment that I want to get rid of, do the same thing. And now you'll see I have this giant gap right here. So you can just select that, hit backspace, and now the gap disappears. This will make sure that there's no black space between your videos, no empty frames there. So now it's just a smooth transition from one to the next. The next thing that we're going to learn is the text tool. So I'm going to bring up my text tool, and you'll see here that it brings up a little cursor with a little text box indicator. So I'm going to click and drag to create my text box. I'm going to type out my title. And then I'm going to go back to my selection tool. I'm going to click on the text box, and this lets me move it around and place it wherever I want within my video. If you go over here on the left to Effect Controls and scroll down, you can choose which font you want. You can choose the font size. I'm gonna make it nice and big. And then just choose a nice font, and then you can change the color as well. So I can make it a bright red if I want. I'm gonna keep it white just because that's easy to see. And I can again just drag it using the selection tool to put it where I want it to be. And just like that, I have a title. So one additional tip, you'll see here that my text file right here in my timeline is not as long as my video files. So let's say I want to drag that out to cover the entire video project. Because right here you'll see there's text right there, but then it disappears. So I want that to cover my entire project. I'm just going to hover over the ends of this text file here, and you'll see this little cursor pop up. This lets me extend the file so I can pull it all the way out in either direction, and now I have text over my entire video. This works the same with video files as well. Say I cut this file, and so it's only this long, and now I want to bring back part on either end. I can drag it out, that elongates my video in either direction, or say that I want to make this video shorter, I can just do the opposite, drag it inward, and that'll make my video clip shorter. So this does only work to a certain extent. I can't bring it back any further than the start or the end of the existing video file over here in my media library, but that is an efficient way to shorten or lengthen your video clip if you don't want to use the razor tool. So now the last thing that you're going to want to do, say your video's finished and you want to export it to an MP4 file so you can share it on YouTube, Facebook, just put it out into the world. We're going to export our video. So you're going to want to make sure that your timeline down here is selected. So you'll see that mine is highlighted in blue. That's perfect. That's what you want. Then you're going to go up to the top here and click File, Export Media. At the bottom here, I like to click on this where it says Sequence Into Out and click Entire Sequence. This just makes sure that everything in your timeline will be exported. Then over here where it says Format, H.264 is a pretty common format. That's going to be an MP4 file. It's pretty commonly used, so you should be safe using that format. And then this blue text right here, if you click on that, this will let you choose where your final file will be saved to. And then at the top here, you can give it a name. I'm going to name it tutorial. And then I want my file to be saved to my tutorial folder where all of my other files are. And then you can go down here and click save, and then click export. This can take some time depending on the length of your video. I've had ones that need to export overnight because they're so long. But if your video is only about 5 minutes, it should just take a couple of minutes for it to export for you. So now we can go, I'm going to pull up my Finder window and go to my tutorial folder. And you'll see right here, this tutorial.mp4 file. That is my final video project. And voila, that's it. You've just created a video in Premiere Pro. Congratulations, everyone. So this is just the very basics of what this program can do. It does get a lot more advanced from here, but this is all you need to know to create your first video in Premiere Pro. Good luck and happy creating!